In the heart of Rome, right in the center, crowds cheer and gladiators prepare. The emperor watches from above. A fight is about to start. But let's jump 1,500 years into the future from ancient Roman times. A LEOPARD 2A7V is getting ready for a practice run. Inside, we have Jimmy the driver, Paul the gunner, Max the loader, and Commander Alex. Suddenly, the radar beeps uncontrollably fast. It flashes red. Everyone starts panicking. Suddenly, the LEOPARD 2A7V isn't on its German training grounds anymore. It's somewhere else. Today, on this episode of the Mega Brain Show, we'll see what happens when a LEOPARD 2A7V tank is transported inside the Roman Colosseum. But before we begin, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and consider watching until the end. Everything you do to help the channel is enormously appreciated. The cockpit flashes red. The crew panics. Commander Alex tries the radio, but there is no one on the other end. After a few moments, there is an intense whoosh sound and the tank starts falling. Everyone inside is tossed around until bang, the LEOPARD 2A7V smashes into the ground. Where are they? Paul opens the top hatch and looks around, but there is too much sand and dust. Soon the air clears and a roar erupts. It wasn't an animal and it wasn't a monster. It was a crowd. They weren't in Germany anymore. They were in the Roman Colosseum. Paul climbs out, followed by the rest of the crew. They look up to see a sea of people in red and white robes. One man stands out from the rest. He wears a golden breastplate and a purple robe. The soldiers immediately realize it is the Emperor of Rome. They look at him nervously, expecting fury for interrupting the games. Instead, he laughs and smiles. The crew takes a moment to survey their surroundings. There is no doubt they are in the arena, but something is off. There is the crowd, the Emperor, and the gates, but there is no fight currently in progress. The tank sits solitary in the middle of the dust. The Emperor laughs joyfully. Finally, he has some real entertainment. Although he doesn't understand this strange metal beast, he is sure it can cause some violence. He bellows into the arena, and the crowd falls silent. He yells in a language the crew doesn't recognize, but they soon realize what is happening. The gates on the other side are opening. At least 1,000 men and several wild beasts are waiting. The crew of the LEOPARD 2A7V is the main event today. Before the battle starts, let's go over some basic facts. The Colosseum was built in 72 AD under Emperor Vespasian. It was a stage for gladiator battles and animal hunts designed to entertain the masses. Fights were usually carried out by gladiators, enslaved people, prisoners of war, or criminals. Exotic animals like lions, tigers, and elephants were also used. The Roman schedule was strict. Mornings were for beast hunts venison, midday was for executions, and the afternoon was for the elite gladiator bouts. Between rounds, workers added fresh sand to soak up the blood. The LEOPARD 2A7V, meanwhile, is a marvel of modern engineering. It is made of high-hardness steel, tungsten, and ceramic components. Ancient swords and spears couldn't even scratch it. Weighing about 66.5 metric tons, it is the pride of the German military. Armament: a 120mm Rheinmetall smoothbore cannon. Ammo: DM-53 tungsten penetrators for armor, and DM-11 programmable high-explosive shells for groups of infantry. Protection: it is designed to survive anti-tank missiles, let alone wooden arrows. The crew gets into position. The sun begins to climb as the first gate lifts. Out come 2 lions and 2 bears, drool dripping from their jaws. This looks easy, the crew thinks. Knowing tank shells would be a waste, they draw their sidearms. Paul fires his service pistol, and the beasts fall before they can even reach the treads. The second round is more chaotic. 3 lions, 3 tigers, 2 rhinos, and an elephant charge at once. But wild animals have no sense of strategy. They charge randomly, making them easy targets. One by one, they fall to the crew's precise gunfire. By midday, the sun is high. The execution phase begins. 10 men armed with nothing but wooden swords and shields are shoved into the arena. The fight is over in seconds. The Emperor is getting bored, but things are about to heat up. The main highlight steps in. 20 elite gladiators. 15 are heavily armored in gold-colored bronze, while 5 carry long-range spears and bows. The crew knows the archers are the priority. It takes a few tries with their pistols at that range, but the long-range threats are neutralized. However, this gives the 15 heavy gladiators time to close the distance. Surrounded, the crew relies on their combat knives and tactical training. It's a grueling scuffle, but the modern soldiers emerge victorious with only minor injuries. Finally, the Emperor reveals his grand finale. The gates swing open for a squad of 50 Roman soldiers, including 10 war chariots. The crew retreats inside the tank. Jimmy rotates the hull, and Max slams a DM-11 HE shell into the breach. Alex gives the order, and Paul pulls the trigger. Boom! The Colosseum erupts as the massive shell hits the center of the formation. The Roman shields offer zero protection. The blast scatters the army instantly. It takes only one more shell to end the resistance. Stunned by this god of iron, the Emperor changes his mind. He doesn't want to destroy the tank. He wants to own it. An agreement is made. The crew and their Leopard will lead Rome to conquer every nation on Earth. While this story had a twist, it's clear the LEOPARD 2A7V would dominate any ancient force. However, if Rome sent thousands upon thousands of men until the tank ran out of fuel and ammunition, the tide might eventually turn. What do you think? Would the Leopard demolish all of Rome? Or would the sheer number of soldiers eventually overwhelm the crew? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. It means a lot to the channel. We'll see you next time on The Mega Brain Show.